Hello, people possibly watching or not watching this video. I'm not sure why I'd say hello to people who aren't watching this video, but hello to them anyway. Thank you for deciding to watch this video of our live tabletop simulator play of Spirit Island. I thought I would throw a little bit at the start of this video to give some context. So we're all members of a group up here in Northern Victoria in Australia who get together every couple of weeks, or at least we did before events occurred. And one of the sessions we had at our bi-weekly, fortnightly, however you say that, game night was we broke out my copy of Spirit Island. None of us having played Spirit Island before, and that when we were attempting to play a 4-player game as well. I had a rough idea of how it played, but we were sort of referring to the manual a lot, and it went as well as you'd expect. A bunch of newbies playing a 4-player version of one of the most brain-melty, decision-heavy games. Rules light, decision-heavy. Very much this game is the name of the game. So, yeah, Tim, who's another member of the podcast that we do together, he was one of those original players, and ever since has basically sworn to never play this game again because the experience was just awful. And I agree, I hated it at the time. I was like, to be fair, I did come away thinking I can see there's a good game in there, but we just had such a crap time playing it that we just didn't break out the box again until pretty recently. I've played it a couple of times, and I played it with Jamo, who's another guy on the podcast that we do. So that's why the structure of this video is basically myself and Jamo teaching Tim how to play, but also appreciate this game, I think, is the aim of what we're attempting to do. I think we ended up playing through 3 rounds, and the intention is to do another session where we load up that game again and finish it off. There's a couple of things in there where I didn't quite know the lose state of the game and things like that, but I didn't bother checking it up because we were never intending to play long enough to lose. That's famous last words playing a game like Spirit Island when you can lose in 2 rounds. But yeah, that's so. Let me know in the comments or wherever this happens to be, this video. Let me know if we do see any rules goofs, because I want to be playing it properly. That would be awesome. Anyway, enough rambling. I'll skip to the stream now. Cheers.
Let's do the standard map.
Let's do that. 3 players, start game. So it's probably just going to pull map tiles out. Yes, good. And it's automatically put everything on said map tiles. That is pretty slick.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Okay, so, this is Spirit Island. We play as the...
Oh, not again.
We play as the gods or spirits on, I guess you'd call it a Pacific Island style place. That's purely from the art. I'm getting that feeling though. It's a bit Moana-y. Is that fair to say?
It's got a definite Moana vibe about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little island with lots of boats and things, so yeah. So we are the gods who exist, or the spirits who exist, who are believed in on this island. We have invaders coming from another land, or from other lands in general. There are different types of invaders you can have in this game whose AI acts a little bit differently, but for this we're just going to go normal. So effectively, if you've played Flashpoint Fire Rescue, or from what I gather, pretty much Pandemic plays quite similarly. Jamo will probably pull me up on that.
Very different games, Dave. Very, very different games.
All right, yeah, good. See?
Shut up, Jamo.
We all play as one spirit, and all the spirits have very different powers. And what I might do is on the stream, just if you have a look through these player cards. This appears to be, I don't know whether they're in order of complexity. Perhaps they are. Yeah, I think we've got the 4 starter guys on the top left up here. So you'll get a rough idea of this one's very good at offense, so it'll kill a bunch of stuff, but it's not so good at the other things. So each character is very different. Its powers, they have their own decks that they start off with, so they all play extremely differently, and you can see how many characters are in it. Very, very replayable game. So effectively what happens is we have a few stages over here, and we might as well look at them on the board itself. This is the invaders deck. They will take a few actions, and at the beginning they're not doing as many, but effectively this row will be full of cards by the time we get to the 3rd round, and then they'll stay full of cards. So we flip one of these, and that will tell us a certain land type. And on that land type, explorers will appear. Now, it'll only be when there's a town nearby or they're coming from the sea. But let's say we flipped a sand type. All of these areas, if possible, and an explorer will show up. And then we have to deal with that. And then the next round, that card will have moved into the build spot, which means on a different type of land, people will be exploring, explorers will be showing up, and then on sand, they'll be building new towns. And then by the third round, sand has moved here, whatever we drew second has moved here, and then there'll be a different land type in the explore stack. So by the time we get to the third round, there are 3 different things happening when the bad guys go. They'll be exploring a certain land type, they'll be building towns or cities on that land type, or they'll be ravaging, which is basically attacking the locals or destroying the land with pollution and mining and all that sort of thing. And that's represented by blight, which are these bubbly fellas here. Does that make sense so far?
Old bubbly boys, eh?
Bubbly boys. So we'll start in a certain area of the map. You can see that these map tiles, if you get your angle right on your camera, you'll see that these are actually separate tiles, and that is relevant to begin the game at least, because we all start in one tile each, one segment of the map each. And if there's 4 players, there'd be 4 segments of the map. If you play solo, there's only 1. But once the game has started, that's not relevant anymore, unless specific powers refer to segments of a map, and I think very few, if not none, do that. So we'll all start in one segment each. We can do things such as destroy a town, destroy a city, do a certain amount of damage to bad guys within a certain area, that sort of thing. So we're working together to scare the heckins out of these invaders to the point where they leave. And to begin with, if you look over here, at terror level 1, these are our victory conditions. There are no explorers left, there are no towns left, and there are no cities left. That is an extremely hard victory condition. As far as I can tell, it's impossible. Someone will disagree with me.
And that's the one we're going for tonight.
As we work our way through this deck, you can probably see in the physical game, this is far more obvious. There are these little tabs that sit inside the fear deck. Now, as we generate fear, scare the crap out of these guys, all these little tokens drop into this bucket here. And once this stack is empty, this is therefore full, we get to turn over a fear card. And a fear card will give us like a really cool power for the next round. And each time we work through 3 of the fear cards, we'll move ourselves onto the next fear level. And the victory conditions change, terror level, based on which terror level you're at. So I believe the second is no towns and no cities. So explorers are fine. They're not part of the victory condition anymore. We only have to remove towns and cities. If we make it to fear level 3, then it's only no cities. So we just have to work on removing cities from the map. And if we make it all the way through the fear cards, then we just straight up win, I believe, because it means we just scared the crap out of them and they've left permanently through fear. I think there's anything amiss so far about roughly what the sort of win conditions are and how that sort of stuff works?
I think that kind of covers it.
Say, Jamo, say it again.
I think that covers it pretty well.
Cool.
We scare them off the island, or they... have you spoken about the loss conditions?
I have not.
Because that's going to be more important, I think.
Loss conditions include, I believe, working all the way through the explore deck, and if there's nothing to draw from, then we lose, I think. I'll have to double check that, but I believe that's how it goes. And this is a finite stack of blight on the blight stack here, this pile here. And as the bad guys ravage the land, if we fail to defend the land that they ravaged, then they'll generate blight. Blight goes onto the map, and if there's already blight where you attempt to put blight down, it spreads to an adjacent thing. It gets real bad if you start getting blight on blight. As you can see, there are very few tokens on here that can be applied to the map. Once this stack is empty, we lose. Or we may not lose, we may flip to a blighted island, and then there's a 50% chance of that being a loss, I think is how that
Okay.
works.
You don't want to try it.
Yeah. So there's basically these cards that are sat at the bottom that say Healthy Island on one side. The other side of the card says Blighted Island. And there are 2 of those cards in the game. You shuffle those 2 and pick one. And one of them says insta lose, and one of them says something else really bad, and you're about to lose.
Okay.
So you basically don't want to risk it. Treat it as if the blight is all out on the map, we've lost.
Okay.
So you can see here, this is what cities look like. They have 3 blocks. It matters because some of the cards will have icons on them, and really the best way you can tell what you're looking at is the cities have 3 little towers on them, the towns have 2, and the explorers look like a little fella.
Yeah.
This is the Dahan, and they are the locals. They are the little huts, and that represents sort of population being in that area. They, from a gameplay perspective, from a purely mechanics perspective, I think of them sort of like ammo to be used against the invaders, but I think that might be me betraying my own love of theme.
They're people, man.
They're human beings with lives and loves, and I'm sorry. So, yeah, effectively, you'll have certain powers that allow you to move anything around, really. The only thing you can't move, I believe, is Blight. But we will all have certain powers that say, oh, you can pull one city towards the tile that you're activating your power on, or you can push some Blight one space away from the tile that you're activating a power on. That sort of thing. So we can strategically place the Dahan in an area where there are a town or a city, a couple of explorers, something like that, because part of the ravage step that we talked about is if there are Dahan on that space after the ravage has happened and they survive the fight, they then get to hit back.
Right.
So, yep, explorers have 1 life, towns have 2 life, and cities have 3 life, and Dahan each have 2 life. So there's a little bit of maths to be done about how much damage is going to be done in a certain area, and then what damage will be done back after the surviving Dahan hit the bad guys.
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense?
So do the I'm guessing it comes out there are rules to dictate which direction bad guys are going to be hurting us then.
It's pretty much
they were just trying to stop their spread. They don't necessarily interact with us. It's just we're trying to stop the spread of it.
Yeah, they're not coming towards us specifically. They're not attempting to do anything. Like, there's no AI card that says head towards the nearest Dahan or anything like that. Yeah. It's always just wherever the building type is or the tile type is in this build spot here. If possible, they will build. And if possible basically means if there's already some bad guys on that spot, then they will build there.
Okay.
So I think that basically covers what we're doing. In terms of how we're doing it, we need to go over and look at the characters. Now, I don't quite know how the tabletop simulator version of this works.
You just press the choose spirit option.
Yeah, I reckon press choose spirit and it'll chuck some cards in your hand and it'll chuck some tokens at you and it'll populate your board and all that sort of thing, I reckon.
So we probably want to make sure that collectively we've got a decent spread of things.
Okay.
I was considering River Surges in Sunlight, which is decent power, has good control in dealing with explorers, which will help early on. Or alternatively, I was thinking about something like the Lightning Swift Strike,
which is purely offense, basically.
It's basically offense, but then blight build-up could be an issue.
Okay.
So
we can take those graphs across the bottom to be as red. They will be.
Yeah, they are correct. So fear is how effective you are at generating fear, which is it really is our win condition. Is generating. It's survive while generating fear. So the stuff we do on the map with fighting the bad guys, moving the Dahan around, that's really using a bucket to empty a sinking ship. What we're actually attempting to do is generate fear off this stack, get the bad guys off the island permanently. So offense, obviously, offense is killing dudes, and then the more dudes we kill, it generates fear, so it directly helps. Control will be things like stopping the bad guys from spreading, or it'll be things like moving the Dahan around, or moving players' influence around, potentially. Fear is how effective or how many cards in your deck generate fear, because anyone can kill things to generate fear, but lots of our individual player powers will say generate 2 fear when you play this card, kind of thing. Defense will mostly be if there's an area that's about to get ravaged, let's say this one here, what you might do is block any damage to the Dahan, and then Dahan will still attack back on that turn. So defense will be very good at that. And utility, I couldn't tell you exactly what that is. It'll be lots of useful player powers and like helping teammates draw cards and that sort of thing.
So there's that deep level of if you're going to be doing things like helping teammates draw cards, helping teammates use their powers, then there's a lot of chatting.
Yes.
A lot of table talk.
Ooh.
So in our first game, we did just sit and talk for like 15 minutes about the first set of actions. And then we realized we were only looking at the explore, and we weren't ready for the next bit that was going to happen. So we changed our minds anyway.
All but high-fiving over how amazing that turn was going to be. And then went, oh, wait, that happens before we do our thing. Whole thing's null and void.
Okay.
Did you... It does say complexity level on there, so naturally, I'd suggest going for low.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Then I like the look of shadows flicker like flame. That looks fun. Scaring some people. Yeah.
Is that what I played last time, Jamo?
Was that one, or was it?
I think it was that one because I was like, which one's the most offensive looking as a character? And it was that one, I think. And there were a lot of cards that generated fear just straight off the bat, like as part of playing the card, you generate fear. So hit that button, we'll see what happens.
Oh, I've got a nice little hand. Lovely.
Tableau.
Cool.
I do.
So we need offense and defense here.
So let's just have a quick look at Tim's cards and read what they do, so we get a rough idea of how that stuff works.
Can you see my cards?
Yes, because it's a co-op game, and for some reason that is a thing I can see. So, Concealing Shadows, top left, first things first. That is the cost that you'll need to pay to play that card. We'll get to how you generate, I think it's called energy. That's a simple step.
It is called energy, yes.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, I remember it being linked to the player board fairly well.
Yes, yeah. Down the left, you'll see a bunch of symbols. Currently on Concealing Shadows, there are 2 of them lit up, Moon and Feather. They probably have better names than that, like Night and Flight. Also, I don't know. They're effectively the types of magic and the types of elements being generated and used by you playing that. As we get later in the game, you'll be able to play 2, 3, possibly 4 cards per turn. If we go over to your player board, you'll see number of card plays is one of the tracks that you're leveling up. So these are currently covering those spots. As you remove them, these are influence tokens. As you remove these and place them on the map to show where you have influence, it also makes your character stronger because you're then revealing these spots. So the minute you generate 0 energy per turn by default, and you can play 1 card every turn, and that is how you start. If you see here, one of the things you can choose to do is add presence. That would involve taking this off, and then once that has been taken off, you can see the 2 spot. So you're then able to play 2 cards per turn.
Yeah.
As you play those cards, it activates these, what do we want to call them, elements down the side of the card.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it means, so for example, if you have played cards and you have 4 moons, 3 orangey fellas, and 2 purple feathers in total from everything you've played, then you can do this highest level of your innate power. It's quite difficult to get to that. But 3 or 4 turns into the game, you should be activating this. Even 2 turns into the game, you should probably be activating this lower level here. So we've all, or when we picked our characters at least, we'll all have some innate powers that all revolve around these colors here that have been activated. Next thing on the card is speed. There is a red birdie, and that means fast, and there is a blue turtle, and that means slow. Basically, red means we activate before the bad guys with those powers, then the bad guys do all their crap, and then slow powers activate. I think part of the utility that was mentioned on this card up here that had a high utility skill, I think one of the things that character does is make everyone else go fast.
That's this one.
Is that who Aaron played? Is that right?
I think he played Thunder Speaker.
Oh, he's down here. Okay, he wasn't playing a low.
Yeah,
he was playing a moderate.
Four feathers. This power becomes 4 feathers. This power becomes fast.
Yeah. So yeah, becomes fast means it moves it into that fast phase. So it will get to activate before the bad guys go. And keeping in mind that this is a game about preempting what bad guys are going to do and trying to get into place to stop them, the ability to go from something that happens after they take their turn and something that happens before is not only incredibly powerful, it also involves discussing tactics with your teammates a lot and having a plan. You can probably start to see quite how plan heavy this is if you want to play it well.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the rest of the cards. Range, obviously, is to do with how far away you can do that. I'll show you in a second what range means, like where you're actually measuring from. And the target, which is something you can quite often miss. That specifies the type of tile or the type of area on the map that you can activate that power on. So it doesn't mean the target is Dahan. It's specifically the target land that you're doing it on.
So the one that I have that says the third one in, target any, and it's any and several people. That's Dahan? What's that symbol for?
I believe that means populated area. So wherever there is... target any land that has... Oh, it doesn't say target land, does it? It says target.
Any three... Dahan, isn't it? Any group of 3?
Does it have to be 3? It might just mean land with stuff
target
on it.
Spirit, that's what it says. Target spirit may push 1.
Right, yeah.
So what's that for?
Target spirit is like... It could be yourself, it could be another player. You can tell another player to push 1 explorer and 1 town from one of their lands.
So that's another player.
Yeah, I guess it must be, yeah. So target any spirit or any player. So what it refers to when it's saying lands is... Have we already got some influence on here? We don't,
no, because we haven't placed it yet.
We get to pick... How does it just... Oh, it tells you on the card, doesn't it, where to place your bits of influence?
Yeah, I think it'll be on...
It's quite annoying if it's on the back of the card.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at another one of the things, and then we can move some crap around.
It might do that for us.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, you would have thought it would do it when... It's probably a bit too intelligent. Like, it doesn't... You know what I mean? Like... It would need to be able to read the text or have a hell of a lot of different permutations programmed into the scripting. So let's have a look at somebody else's card over here. In the setup, it says, put 1 influence and 1, whatever that symbol is, on your starting board in the highest numbered jungle. So it'll say something like that. So let's say this is your board here. It'll say something like the lowest numbered sand. So that would be 3.
I can flip this one over. That's not my character, though.
Yeah. What I could do is... give me 1 second. Unlock it. Lock it. And... Okay, that didn't work. Why wouldn't it let me copy and paste it?
Because you're not the...
I'm not the boss of the game.
What do you want to do?
You're the host.
Copy and paste. Sorry, I'll unlock it. Just literally Control-C and then Control-V over here. Cool. And then you can flip it. So, put 3 influence on your starting board. That means the board on the map. 2 in the highest numbered jungle, and 1 in land number 5.
Okay. So which one's my influence then? Top ticket?
It should be these.
Yeah, so it's the marbly looking fellas, yeah.
And which is...
So 1 in the high...
I'll read it. 2 in the highest numbered jungle. So that would just go 2 in the same space. So yeah, 2 in number 8, yeah. And then 1
In this one here.
in land number 5.
All right, done.
So having 2 influence in 1 land means is that place of power, is it?
Yes,
Is that what it's called?
yeah, something like that.
It means these influence tokens represent there's a certain amount of belief of you in that area, which gives you more power. So if you've ever played Populous on the PC, like 20 years ago,
Ooh, keep going, mate.
the more belief in a god that there is, the more power that god has to do magic and crap. Not crap, although if you play Black and White, that is involved.
Oh yeah, gosh, no, that game.
So yeah, it effectively means that's when the card was mentioning range earlier. So if you had range 1, it would be up to 1 space, 1 land away from where you have influence is where you could activate that power. The thing to keep in your head is that you're activating power on a land. You're not activating it on a character or a baddie or whatever. You're specifically saying, okay, I'm going to do whatever this card says, and I'm applying it to this land here. And you apply it to that spot. So when it says things like push and pull, it's pushing away from the land that you've activated it on. It's pulling to the land you've activated on.
Okay.
Does that make sense so far?
Yeah. So I can choose which of my 2 places I have influence that I'm operating from.
Yeah, so but like if you put, let's have a look at one of your cards. It says range 0, so it can only be activated where you have influence. Generate 1 fear. Looking at this card here. Generate 1 fear, and Dahan take no damage from ravaging invaders this turn. So it's a very defensive card. So let's say, just for argument's sake, there were some bad guys here who you knew Forest was about to ravage in the next round. So you might play that power knowing that the Dahan would be safe, and then they'd hit back.
Okay.
You could only do it here or here. These lands are where that power could be activated. Okay. Something with a range of 1 for favors called due. Gather up to 4 Dahan, and then blah, blah, blah. It does some other things. But let's say you want to gather up to 4 Dahan. It's a range of 1. You could activate the power because you've got influence here. You could choose to activate that power on this board, this land, and it says gather up to 4 Dahan. So you could gather this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, and just pull them to this land.
Yeah. Okay.
And push is obviously the opposite, but you can choose where they push to. It doesn't have to be a specific type of land, or there's no logic about directions or anything like that. It's just like you push 1 space away.
And if I remember correctly, it looks more like there's a river down the middle of this, but that's not a river. That's just the way the tiles are sitting.
It's just the divide of boards.
Yeah. You need to know how the tiles are sitting to know where to start, kind of thing. That's all it's used for, really. But it is, you play as if they're touching.
So I'm fine to start off on this part of the island. My thing was influence into 2 into that and into this, so I've got a reach, fairly large reach.
Yeah. At the beginning, you won't really. By 3 or 4 turns in, if you've been placing enough influence, some characters are quicker at that than others, you will be able to basically touch any board on the map, any land on the map. Are you taking that one, Jamo?
Yeah, I think I am. In fact, I just did.
All right. I might go defense. Did anyone play this last time? Is this what you played?
What one's that, sorry?
Vital Strength of the Earth, Big Lucky Boy?
Yeah.
Vital Strength of the Arse. Spread of Rampant Green. Is this one that Aaron said that he wanted to play? Playstyle. Fairly good at dealing with towns, but terrible at handling explorers who are unfazed by prolific foliage. Can get presence onto the board faster than most other spirits. Extra presence is good for targeting, and especially for choke the land with green, which can be extremely effective at slowing down invaders. Just be careful not to destroy sacred sites. Needed for power use. Yeah, sacred sites are the ones with the 2 influence on them. I might try this, although I really feel like I'll lose. But let's go. Oh, at least it puts them in the right spot on the board for you.
Yeah.
I only get 1 thing to start off with. 1 presence. It sucks to be me.
Oh, I didn't read the back of my board before I pressed that button. Jamo, copy and paste me.
I was like, can you do mine as well? Because just being able to refer to the playstyle might be quite useful.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's that one.
Awesome, thank you.
There's that one.
You.
And see as everyone else has got 2 boards. I'll get in on it.
Beauty of the digital version of games, you can do whatever the hell you want. I've just read mine. Put 2 on your starting board. 1 in the highest numbered wetland, and 1 in the jungle. In the jungle without any Dahan. If there's more than 1 such jungle, you may choose. All right. Highest numbered wetland and jungle without Dahan. Which you're over there, Jamo. All right. Highest numbered wetland would be number 3.
Oh, I can get Dahan back.
Dahan is there. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Gather up to 2. If there are now at least 2 Dahan, add 1 and gain an energy.
Right then, so that's effectively healing of our little army. Nice.
Yes. I don't do a lot of damage with this, though. I can push things around, but I haven't got much in the way of dealing damage.
Tim does damage, I remove towns. So between us, hopefully... Do you generate fear much, or not? You just...
No, so I'm a control... Apparently I'm offensive, but maybe that's just me.
It's just you as a person.
It's probably in my cards here. Ah! Tsunami. 2 damage, 2 fear, 8 damage, destroy 2 Dahan. Yeah, okay. So I've got to, I think I have to look at getting power cards in my deck pretty quickly, I think is the feel.
Are you guys... So the other thing I need to tell you about your character is that this power progression deck here, Tim, is... It's sort of those 4 low complexity characters, they're kind of the tutorial characters. They're not the tutorial characters, they're the easy characters, and therefore they come with this power progression deck. Normally how the game works is when you want to level up, and you'll see one of the things you can do is gain power card on your board. When you want to do that, you would draw 4 from the stack, either a minor power or a major power. And if it's a major power, you'd have to replace one of your existing cards. If it's a minor power, you just add it to your deck. Naturally, minor powers are good but not amazing, and major powers are really good, but you do it at the cost of having 1 less card in your deck. Not quite as bad as Gloomhaven, with your cards being your stamina, but you want more cards because resting is a thing you have to do to get them back once they've been used. So yeah, the normal way to play is you draw 4, keep 1. But these progression decks replace that system with basically saying when you choose to add a power card, you just take 1 off this deck as it tells you to do it. So they're all in order, and it tells you take this one, then take this one, then take this one. It's sort of like an optimal generic way of building your deck. Less randomization, fewer decisions to make. You just play the game.
Yeah.
So I'd say go with that for your first ever game. Did you use that last time, Jamo?
No, man, I went balls to the wall.
Would you prefer to go balls to the aforementioned wall?
Oh, yeah, I'm going all in.
Are we supposed to have more cards, or do we literally start with 4?
You start with 4, and if you're not very good, you end with 4.
I don't remember it being that few. I thought it was like 10 or something.
No, it's only 4. You were very quickly getting minor powers into your hand.
That's true. I was quite dashing in the last game.
That's not how I said it.
It's fine. You can call me handsome. It's fine. It's fine. Oh wow, this has got a weird special rule. Spread of rampant green. When I do growth, always add presence to a jungle or wetland at a range of 2.
Oh yeah.
So you can only put presence in wetlands or jungles.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not growth. Always. Oh yeah, no, I pick one and it does this. So these are the pick ones, and then this is separate.
Oh,
that line's not above it.
You always generate presents.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Jeez,
that's what it means when it says I'm quick at getting presents on the board.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm slow, but all of my
character.
Wetlands classes as places of power regardless of how many tokens I've got on them. So, and I get 2 presents out when I use the game presents.
All right, yeah, okay. So when you gain presents, you really do it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. We should have a turn order reminder card somewhere that is probably easiest to refer to.
It's up the top here, I think. Turn
Oh
order.
yeah, up here. So Spirit Phase. See other card. Spirit Phase. We do growth actions. Then we gain energy, and that gain energy is the sort of whatever we've unlocked on our board, that horizontal row that we looked at before. Then we play and pay for power cards. So the first thing we're going to do is the growth phase, and the thing we were just looking at.
Do we have to do this card out first?
Yeah, our first turn. I can't quite remember how first turn works.
Invader phase. Yeah, okay. If there's a first turn, then it might be different. Yeah.
Yeah, like as part of the setup, you'd think it would do that though.
Because there are no. Yeah, I think we do from memory because we had to make plans on our first turn from memory.
Yeah. To be fair though, there are bad guys on the board.
There are no explorers though.
Yeah. Are we supposed to know? Where's the rulebook? Find out.
It's top right.
Oh yeah. Have a quick look as what it says about setup. Because once you get the game, the rulebook, while not a great reference, it is quite good. Ooh, I just jittered then.
Yep.
Hopefully I'm still streaming and stuff. Ah, it's because you want to open a tablet. That's why.
A tablet with a PDF from a URL in the game. If that's not the devil's handshake, I don't know what it is.
Seriously, you can actually put like rulebooks in games in this thing.
Wait.
You could probably put videos in there, really. It's just a Google Drive.
This is ridiculous. Why?
You got to click to be in it, and then you can use your mouse like you're normally using it. You got to like click the screen to be active.
Okay.
Pop out to screen. Oh, you could press the pop out to screen button. That makes it way easier. I just can't make this box bigger. Oh, sorry. Am I doing it on?
No. I'm just laughing at. I've gone to an actual website to get a PDF for this.
Please do. Invaders starting action. To finalize the setup, the invaders take an initial action. Reveal the top card of the invader deck. The invaders explore in that land type. Alright. Now we know. So yes, we initially do an explore action and then we go.
Okay.
So how did it?
Rip the one off the top and
Wetlands.
in mountainous areas.
Mountainous areas.
What explore means is if there is invader presence either on that space or adjacent to that space, an explorer appears. Is somebody doing that or is it automatic?
That's me.
Ah, really?
Sorry, Dave.
Is it really you?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I couldn't see a hand moving. I was like, they're just appearing!
Yeah, no.
Oh my god, it's scripted!
If you look down the bottom corner, you'll see it's got all of the numbers will spawn something in.
Oh, nice. Well, that's partial scripting. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool, actually. Right, so now we go. So we are aware that when the bad guys go, they are going to build on the... Is that right? Or are they going to explore?
No.
Yeah, they will, won't they? They'll move that and we'll flip and explore.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know that the bad guys are going to build on mountain after we go on with our slow powers, and then we'll get to do more. After we go with our fast powers, then our slow powers will act after that has happened.
Okay.
The first thing we do is the growth phase. So look at your player board and decide what action you want to take. I get to choose between reclaiming my cards, which is stupid at this point, I haven't used any, and gain 1 power card, or +1 presence at a range of 1, and +1 card play this turn. Or gain 1 power card and gain 3 energy. What I'm going to do is, I think, gain 1 power card and 3 energy. Because at the moment, I'm not generating any energy. And that's bad.
Mm.
Okay. I'm going to go and get 2 presents. put those. How far can you place your presents? It says on the thing, doesn't it? 1 and 1.
Yeah, the range of it underneath the action. So this goes on sand and wetlands. I can remove blight. That's handy at some point later. It involves places of power, which is I already am involved with, so I'll have some of those. Defeat 2, defend 2 in every land where target spirit has. Oh, that's really good as well. Gather up to 3 Dahan, then push up to 3 Dahan. I'm going to assume Jamo can handle most of that sort of business.
So, all right, what does it mean when it says gather?
That's pull.
It's vacuum.
I'm just using the wrong word.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm looking. I think I choose one across the top. I'm going to say add a presence within 3 and gain 3 energy.
For which one's that? Sorry.
The
Yes.
one on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can take a presence from your board and put it up to 3 away from where you've got presence already, and then gain 3 energy. Energy 3 is numpad 9 if you have a full keyboard.
I've got some blight. Is it worth putting whatever it's called? Some blight, yeah. Is it worth trying to put some of my presence inside a place that has blight, or is that a bad idea?
So if blight is generated on this spot, well, on any spot where you have influence, then presence, then it will kill one of your presence. But also, you might have a 0 range power that lets you clean up blight. I don't know your deck.
Yeah. So what about being on a city space? Is that just as bad?
When they ravage, if there's nothing to kill, like no Dahan to fight with, and you don't do any defending, they will generate blight.
Okay, I'm going to go here. There we go. That makes sense. It's 2 away.
Yeah, you spread your influence a bit. Yeah. So I always put 1 presence out on either jungle or wetlands. Bump this up, I think. What's that plant?
What?
See on my board? My energy per turn track? One of them just says, 2 of them just say plant underneath. Oh, does that mean I always generate that green?
Yeah,
I reckon that's
exactly
that'll be what it means. Yeah. Alright, that's fine.
It must do because you can only play 4 cards, and this is asking for 5 green.
Right, yeah, makes sense.
Do I get that? Oh, I get a reclaim one. What does that mean?
Reclaim 1 card? Every turn?
Oh.
I would take it to mean that. It might say on the back of the thing.
On the front of it?
Yeah, whatever side it is.
So when it comes to what we're all planning to do here, I can deal a damage to one of the explorers that's within 1 of me. So that's this guy here. How do I ping? What's that button?
Tab.
So I can do that to him, to stop 1 city from building. The other thing I can do is I can give energy to you boys. So if I target one of you two...
is it like temporary energy, or you just give us a token?
At the start of another... if I target a spirit, they gain 1 energy per power card they played that turn.
So it's only going to be 1, presumably. None of us can play more than 1, I don't think.
I can.
Oh, you can. You can give yourself 2 powers.
No, for me, it's only 1 energy.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad.
It's extra spend if people need it.
We want to start generating energy, because I don't have very much. So
I've got enough to do what I need to do for a turn, at least, so I'm not really worried about it.
Okay.
My stuff seems pretty cheap at the moment.
2. Explore a wetland at a place.
The other option I can do is some gathering of Dahan as a slow action prep for the next round. So maybe that's what I'll do.
There, I think.
That's my plan as well. If I can just sort of tell you what my idea is. So I moved my influence onto space 6 up here.
Yep.
I'm going to try and gather some Dahan, and I'm going to try and gather them in space 7. Basically, as long as I can put one more Dahan in there, which I'll do this one across.
Yep.
It will gain us 3 fear to start off with.
Oh, that's part of the card you're playing. Will generate fear based on Dahan being in there. Cool.
If invaders are present and Dahan outnumber them, 3 fear.
Yeah, nice.
Can I just double check, Dave?
Yeah, go on.
When they build, they only build where there are explorers, right?
Yeah. Or towns.
Wait.
Yeah, so they build wherever they already have presence, basically.
So does a town become a city, or how does that work? So,
I think the rule is if there are more towns than cities, then build a city.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So really, I'm better off doing my 1 damage to this town.
Just dinking it once.
Yeah. To drop it down so that there'll be a town and 2 explorers as opposed to an explorer, a town, and a city.
Why would that be the case?
So right now, if that builds a city. If I...
Yeah.
Oh, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't degrade, does
It
it?
still builds if it's injured, yeah.
Ugh. So maybe I'm better off killing off this boy here.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, so that's, I think, what I'm going to do.
So in terms of building, if I leave this, he will do 1 damage, which will injure the Dahan but not kill it.
They're
and the
not
Dahan will
raiding
kill
this
him
turn,
back.
don't forget.
When
again,
will
sorry?
you do that damage?
It doesn't do it this round.
No.
Oh,
it doesn't do
eventually
this
it will,
round. Only
yeah,
when
yeah.
he ravages, is that right?
Oh yeah,
Correct,
true. You're right. I'm 1 step out of sync again.
When it gets around to ravaging, I've got something that lets Dahan take no damage from invaders. Otherwise, I can push 1 guy and 1 town, or let any of you push 1 guy and 1 town from one of your lands. So we could all, I don't know, it's worth corralling them, shoving them into one place, and I can shrink a town to a person or a city to a town.
Trying to think if I got a way of just removing this dude. I do not.
I cannot kill anything.
Yeah, me neither. We're good characters.
Oh, wow, okay. We don't have...
Go on.
Push a town?
We haven't
Which
got
doesn't
an
help us
offensive
much.
character, do we?
Well, we do
don't
have
think we
we
do.
do have 2 plus 2 pushes there. So is there a way that we could just actually start to shove stuff out to one side of the island and not let it back in?
I can push... So I'm going to be able to do a slow action push 1 guy or 1 town. And in theory, I could... No, I haven't got enough energy to do that. Next turn, I can push up to 3 boys around. So maybe that's the play. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do here is mitigate this explorer. So that's 1 less town to worry about, and then I'm going to give myself a bit of cheeky energy.
Cool.
Helps. I could potentially make one of you add add a presence 1 space away. Like that could be the card I play.
Doesn't
So I
help
can
me.
Would it help you to have to put another presence token out, Tim? 1
If
space away
I
from
put
where you
another
already are.
presence token out, that would be great because I could then play 2 cards. I think.
No, because
maybe
you
that's
can't
the way to go.
get that off till you... You'd have to already have selected your cards before that affected, right?
He could. Oh yeah, good question. Whether he can choose to play them and then.
Because you have to
Yeah.
select it and pay for them before they go into activating.
Oh yeah, before Dave could activate his to activate me. Maybe
true.
all I could do would be, yeah.
No, because I think we've got to... Everyone has to have selected all their abilities, paid for
Yeah, I
them,
reckon.
and then you slip into that next phase, which is when they activate.
So if I'm going to use that, it's because I want one of you to just be leveling up faster. in general.
It's probably
so nothing about this round.
Yeah, it's a good setup for next round though. Having the 2 abilities next round, not this round.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give it. Who seems like they're going to be getting influence out slowly? You put 2 out a turn if you want to.
Yeah, I'm fine for that.
And Tim can only ever put 1 out, so maybe I just give that to Tim. That it's a cop out from what I do on my turn, but overall it probably works out better.
I've got a big hand of energy, and I've got a big pocket full of energy right now. So another energy, yeah, I think it would work.
All right, I am going to play Gift of Proliferate. Oh Jesus, Gift of Why can't I say this word? Proliferation. Thank you. And that costs me 1, so we all pay for our energy that we use now.
So we all have our cards out, and we're now just paying the energy, even if they're slow.
Yep.
Even if they're slow, you pay for everything up front. Yeah. So I paid for that. I think that's me. That's all I'm doing this turn.
Oof. 2 damage to each invader is pretty handy, isn't it? I need to work on that.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about those little innate power things. Yeah, have I got anything?
Oh, I should be reading that. Yep.
Yeah, I do. Hang on.
Oh man, what?
No, I don't. Sorry, I've got to get some more than.
You need 2 cards
several.
out.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do fast actions first. I'll do my 1 damage to this boy here. Kill him.
Yay!
My fast one is to allow target spirit Tim to add 1 influence up to 1 range away from where they already have influence or presence. I'm never going to use the right word.
Well, that's good. Do I want to be helping out over anywhere else? Anyone else?
Getting yourself as spread as possible is pretty helpful.
Okay, all right. I think that's fair enough to hear. I've got Dahan in a place where there's a town. That makes me feel like that might be a good place to hold up in.
Yep, and you know that it's not going to ravage anytime soon because we can't even see a Sandy.
Yep.
Is that all fast done?
Yep, I think so.
All right, then invader phase. Blighted Island effect. Saying, Jamo?
Sorry?
Is there something else we need to do before we move on?
No. That moves across.
No, hang on. Blighted Island is nothing happens because we currently have the healthy island side.
Oh, okay. You're actually doing stuff. I see.
And then fear effects, there are currently none because we haven't earned one of these cards. Ravage, we do these steps in order. So you ravage, then you build, then you explore. So when all this is happening, we don't know what the explore place is going to be yet. So this is what I think. We may be playing slightly wrong, Jamo. We may be hurting ourselves a little bit too much. Because I feel like... so normally what would happen is you'd get to this stage and shuffling them along is something you do as part of the end of the bad guy phase, right? But what we did at the start of the game was just show the explore card and do it early. So we did it completely out of sync anyway.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Does it say move it into the build spot though?
Yep. Then place the card face up in the build action space.
Okay, as part of the setup.
So we're hurting ourselves exactly the right amount.
Okay, good. So we do Ravage, which does nothing, and then we do Build in Mountain. So anywhere that has bad guys already on it, we'll build a town or a city. Ask a question if you don't know which it's going to build. Jamo is doing it. Wow, that's a lot.
And the old ones stay.
Yeah. I think did you build a city over here as well, maybe?
Yes, yep. I built the city because there was a town there already.
Oh, right, yeah, no, you're right.
What about this one with a city in? What happens there?
It's only on mountains that it triggers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What we've got here is what I like to call a clusterfuck.
Yeah, we need a nuke. I'm not sure we have any nukes yet.
I don't think we've got any nukes. But hey, we're going to give it a shot. So
Next action is explore. Who wants to flip the card?
I don't want to be the one dooming it.
All right, it's me. Wetlands. We explore on wetlands. So anywhere that has bad guys adjacent to it, and it's also if it's adjacent to water, I believe, isn't it? They show up on a boat.
Yeah. So that's
Is that
everywhere.
every wetland spot.
That's
Yeah,
everywhere.
good.
So the good news is this will be over quite quickly.
I mean, it always feels like it's going to hell in a handbasket, but
Yeah.
we'll see, I suppose. Keep your own cards, your fast cards, if you faff around with them, and then we'll do. Is that it for bad guy times?
Yes. Yep. Now
Advancing beta
slowness.
cards. Yeah. So this is when we now move the cards,
Okay.
technically. So that explore deck is still hidden, and then this is what we'll do next round,
Yep.
as where they lie. Slow powers.
So first,
Cards and innate. Not that any of them are acting. Are doing any innate powers? I haven't played any slow cards personally.
I've got
a slow. Oh, you got it.
yeah. I've
You
got
guys
a
have
slow
played two
as well.
cards.
So I can move up to 2 boys, and it'll spawn a third one.
I think that's basically always good. Like play
Gather.
that card as often as possible.
So I'm wondering if it's worth gathering some boys here, because if I take 2 into there, then there'll be a third one spawn in there.
And that'll be, but they'll all die.
Unless someone can defend it next round.
Oh, can anyone? Because that's if they can, that means we nuke one spot.
Yeah, I can give it. I was planning on not
Reach
doing
it.
it because if I can do the other, then I can get myself my power up. But really, all my power up is what place presence, 2 presents.
Basically, next turn. Here we'll kill Dahan and not generate any blight. Here we'll generate 3 blight, I think it is.
Which means it's 1 blight, 2 blight, 3 blight.
Yeah. Which is real bad.
That's real bad.
And same here.
There as well.
So we pretty much we start to lose at that point. Oh, if they both generate 3 blight, then it's game over because all the blight's off the board.
So I can shove this town over to here with my power,
So you could move the town out of the way, and then it
and then
generate,
I can draw in 2 boys, so there'll be 3 here.
Yep, and then they
Which will
kill a guy and damage the city once.
Okay, I can next turn let someone else push 1 little guy and 1 town from their lands.
Ooh. So if I spread my influence to here, well, that's not me. I'm not blue. I'm yellow. That's quite far away from me. That's still only 2 spaces away.
I mean, if I took two, I was gonna do a place 1 2 spaces away. I could put one of my presents here.
Yeah, and then Tim could play that card on you, and you get to push the town and the city, town and the person out.
And I can also shrink a town to a person or a city to a town.
On the same card? Or is that a different thing?
No, that's the 2 cards I'm planning to play next turn.
Are they fast actions or slow actions?
They are slow actions.
They're both slow.
So that's therefore useless, is it? Because
Oh, I was just thinking if we had it as a fast action, we could nuke this one here and get away with it. But
how many Dahan would need to be in a town to protect it? So this one up here, number 7, with the Explorer in the town, how many Dahan would need to be in there to not die?
The Explorer, like the Dahan have 2 life each. The Explorers do 1 damage. The towns do 2 damage. So it would die, and there'd be 1 damage left over. 1 damage left over doesn't generate blight. If there's for every 2 extra damage that the bad guys do, like undefended, there's 1 blight generated, and you can generate multiple blights in the same fight.
So I could gather these Dahan, all 4 of them, in there with my slow card that I have at the moment.
That would involve some of them dying, but it would sploosh these guys. And
Would it
then you
kill
could
everything
possibly
there?
you could move them into here afterwards as well, potentially, because that's what's
I mean,
going to be going down next.
I could also move them all here if you need me to. 3 of them into here.
Where? Sorry. Oh,
So
into
I could
here. Yeah.
move these 3 into here.
So this is real bad. Like these two are lose state at the moment. But is Jamo saying you're basically dealing with that one?
So all right. So if I do my action now, right, I can do push 1 explorer or 1 town. So I push that to say sand's not triggering as it's wetlands. I push the town to there.
Yeah.
And then I can use my ability to hoover up to Dahan. So if I get these 2, which in turn creates a 3rd.
And that 3rd would kill him and hurt that after those 2 kill these 2.
I can possibly, on my next turn...
We're ravaging straight away, aren't we?
Yeah, so I'm going to have to...
So, Ravage, just to explain the rule to me fully, otherwise I'm going to keep asking it and I'm not sure of it. The explorers and the towns attack first. If we take number 8 down here, this would do 3 damage to Dahan.
It would do 3 damage to the land. If the Dahan are there, they take that damage instead.
Okay.
So doing 3 damage to the land means there's every multiple of 2 of damage that gets done to the land generates blight. So we would generate 1 blight.
Okay, well what I'm saying is I'm thinking I might pull these 4 Dahan in to either here or here.
I'd say prioritize here if we're going to do that, because this does 3, 2, 1, so 6 damage, generates 3 blight.
So I can bring in these 3 Dahan there, which would kill the Dahan, no blight. Or
yes.
Or the option number 2 is I could bring in these 4 Dahan here, and they would, I believe, if I'm right, kill everything that's in this space.
Yeah, 2 of them would. 1 of them would die, and then the other 3 would kill everything that's there.
So that's your option. You can either have no Dahan and everything in 2 being normal as it was, or you can have number 8 clear.
You would only need to put 3 in here to get the same result.
Okay.
Technically. Something needs to be done here. Like the ideal thing we would do is move 3 Dahan into here and then defend, which means the Dahan don't get hurt when these guys attack, but they would still counter-attack and kill everything.
Okay.
If that's possible, that should be the thing we're aiming to do.
I can do that next turn. Yep. So this turn, I'm going to move 3 Dahan.
About fast. Yep.
So this is my slow card for last turn. Now I don't gain any of the fear that I was hoping to generate. If invaders are present and Dahan outnumber them, 3 fear. Unfortunately, they do not outnumber them, do they, right now?
No. But you still get fear for killing stuff.
Okay, true.
Put them back where they were. We don't forget.
2 in the desert and 1 in the... No, we're up to that stage now.
No, we've got to pay and play cards.
No, this is still the slow phase.
I'm still trying to finish my slow phase.
Oh, right. I thought you were talking about what to do next turn.
No. I'm trying to say this is what I want to do at the end of this turn to prepare for next turn. So your choice is you can either have no 3 fear and have 2 be demolished next turn, or you could have 8 be demolished.
I think killing stuff is important because we lose if we...
What's your battle plan for next turn, Dave? What are you thinking?
Very little. This character doesn't seem to do that much. I can slowly damage a town or a city, do 1 damage to it. I can generate 1 fear. I can remove a bit of blight in sand or wetlands.
Right.
I can push a town or push 3 Dahan slowly, or I can quickly add 1 influence, 1 presence, sorry, or if target land has my presence on it and invaders, generate 3 fear. So, not amazing, to be honest. I think my thing is going to be slow burn. I'm Iron Man.
Right. What we need is a Hulk right now.
Yeah.
But that is all the slow actions for this round, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we go to the next round and we do our growth phase. Excuse me.
Okay.
I always add 1 presence to jungle or wetland up to 2 spaces away.
So how many power cards do I draw?
4 and keep 1.
And I just take the top one off the progression deck.
Yes, you'll have a card in there that says, "Here's what to do."
Righto. There we go.
For babies, you know.
Classy.
I'm not sure.
What's a swirly looking eel thing mean?
A swirly looking eel thing.
Look at the symbols on these cards.
That's a fist.
No. Oh, that's a fist. No,
Yeah.
this one here I was talking about, but the fist is the other one.
Add one snaky fella. Is that something specific to your character?
No, I drew random ones. These are probably expansion things, right?
Oh, I
Disease.
wonder. Yeah. Disease, right?
Disease.
Yeah. We did say we're not playing the expansion.
3 of my
Maybe the
cards were
scripting's not quite
expansion
right.
cards, so I'm going to draw 3 new ones to replace those.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'm going to draw two.
Right. I'm getting my next part of the turn ready.
That one sounds good. Infested Aquifer.
Put one out. Put one out, and put one out. I could get 3 presents on the board in one turn. Maybe I do that. So that's 1,
Hit him with the old razzle dazzle.
2, 3, and one of them needs to go on jungle or wetland.
Ooh.
The 2 away.
Guys, I've got quite a good turn. I've just seen how good this could be. All right, I can see the appeal of this game.
Tim's about to smash some stuff. Okay. It's good though. I like it.
But now I just have to sit and just think, okay, what am I going to do that to that's the most effective? Yeah. I'm knocking over a house, but which one?
That's 1 away.
So I can get either a spurn on the words of fire, which allows me to target any spirit other than myself. They gain 1 energy and may immediately play another power card by paying its cost. Or get one that destroys all explorers on a wetlands or a jungle, or just destroys one otherwise. I think we need punching power, don't we?
I think we do. Just in case this ends up being the recording that we upload to YouTube, my hard drive is about to fill up, so I need to stop the recording. But I'm going to keep streaming, and hopefully I'll just grab the Twitch version that will be then uploaded to YouTube. So goodbye if this ends up being the real thing. All right, let's carry on. That's gone.
Professional as ever, Dave. I like it.
It just came up, got the blue screen. Your disk space is running out. That might be why our computer's crapping itself so often.
So 3 energy here.
So, guys, one of you will be able to push 1 small guy and 1 town. So, a level 1 and level 2 from one of their lands.
Can we that probably deals with that spot right there, yeah?
Yep, that sounds good to me.
But we need someone on that land, is that right?
Yeah, we could do. Well, it's up to you where you want to push it to. Let's have a look.
No, sorry. What's the target? How does it work? What's the trigger?
Target any player. So it's the target player.
So you have to have influence in that land for it to trigger, though.
Okay, so another player has to have them, or am I just giving it to the player?
So you target another player, and that player can push
Has to have.
from that, from one of their lands, which means they have to have influence on it. So I could move.
So is that useful to the wetlands up here? Number 5, your land.
It's actually something I can deal with here. I can move everything out of there.
Yeah.
It means we don't ravage there at all.
That's great then. So you can do that to 7. That's 7 taken care of. I can take care of the one down the bottom, number 2, which by protecting all the Dahan. You can push, and then the last thing, I can shrink a city down to a town size. After I've done that, I should be able to immediately kill 2 level 1 guys.
Alright. I think I'm going to nuke the city and the dude on the city, and then I'm going to clear off a wetland when it's fast.
I'm going to stop bad things happening here.
Okay.
This is still fucked.
No, it's not. It's not fucked.
Oh, okay.
We're going to
Cool.
push it off with this one here.
Oh,
We're
nice.
going to push it
No.
into the sand.
No, that's going.
Oh no, we're not.
That's going to deal with this one here.
Which one? Oh, there. Okay.
So, right, to come out of it
Slow.
with one blight is pretty good considering the shithole of the situation we're in.
It's more of a case of which poison chalice do you want to drink out of than anything else.
So I've got to pay. So I'll just finish my growth steps first, shall I? Add a presence and +1 card play this turn. I technically can't afford to play another cards. Oh, I could play a 0 cost. Ooh, that is interesting. Means I could push a town as well. I need to have a place of power there. I don't. I can only push it slowly though. So maybe I focus on wetlands, getting rid of a town. Where do I have influence? Any land 1 range away. Going to be stuff built, isn't there? So I'll just play that card. I'm playing those 2 because I've chosen to add a presence there, and 1 extra card play this turn. I lose both my pennies.
We're paying, are we now? Okay.
Yeah, pay and play, regardless of speed of card.
Get away from that.
Animal paws are also expansion things, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I reckon.
I'm just trying to get all the expansion ones out.
Oh.
Have you got your cards? Has everyone done all their cards and paid for
Yep,
them?
my cards are out in front of me. Paid for.
Sweet. Right, so we do fast powers first.
Alright. I got a nice fast one. Get it out of the way quick and easy. Number 2, 0 range, 1 fear. Our little guys, Dahan, take no damage from ravaging invaders on space 2. Yeah.
I am going here.
And I'm going to nuke this little explorer here. Now, was your ability for me...
Slow.
It's slow. Right. So it's probably not going to save this spot at all, but... so that's fine. We can...
We'll see what happens when Blight comes out. That's good.
Yeah.
We could save 6.
Which one? 6?
No, 9. This one.
Yeah,
They're
that's...
about to build.
Well, no one's got influence on it, though.
No, but it's a you may push. Oh, from what? So you have to be in that land. You push them.
You have to
out of that
have
land?
influence on that land.
Right.
But Dave can
We've
do
got one
it
up
here.
here. Number 5.
It's slow though. It's wetlands we're now focusing on,
Oh
isn't
yeah,
it?
so it's going to build.
Oh,
so
yeah,
wetlands are going to build. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but so the wetlands we're going to see.
You guys,
Here
you could
and
activate
here.
that on me, and I'll do it from here, and I'll do my own one from here as well. So we're helping a
There's
little
no
bit.
point. The wetlands are going to build. It's dependent on what's going to come out as explore. I think.
I'm talking about slow though. I'm pushing stuff
Oh.
after it's built. I'm going to push the towns that appear
Right.
from
Oh,
here
I can do a little
and here.
bit of duck shoving too.
Yeah, it's there for when we get to that point. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm the one doing 2 turns. Like Aaron last time was the one doing 2 turns in advance, and me and Jamo were just putting out fires. I think I'm the one currently thinking about the wetlands, and you guys are.
I'm just trying to. I'm trying not to put a dozen blight out in my turn. That's my goal right now. Okay, so now we do the cards. So we ravage.
Have we all done our fast powers? I certainly have.
I've done mine.
Yep, so we do light island effect nothing, fear effect nothing, we ravage.
Okay.
So in mountainous lands, cities do 3, towns do 2, and explorers do 1. So here, unless anyone protects it, which
Just
they
protect that
have, they take no damage, and then they do all the damage in the world back. So they hit this guy for 3, they hit this guy for 2, they hit this guy for 1, which generates 3 fear.
Only 3. I thought there's something over here that says fear, destroying a city and a town. A city is 2 fear.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what? 2 for the city.
We did
for
1
the
city
town.
and 1 town.
Right, but the little guy on his own doesn't generate fear.
Yeah, no, he's
Gotcha.
just like,
Okay.
get rid of him before he builds.
All right.
Cool, so that's good.
And I did that actually did generate a fear when it started as well. The card itself generates fear. So that's 4.
Cool.
Okay. So
What have we
that's
got in there now?
that
Yeah,
one
4.
there. This one
So that's
here
done.
is 1 blight. Is that right?
Yeah, it does 3 damage, which generates 1 blight.
Yep.
Which is bad. That's okay.
It does get worse. So
Here, it does damage. I block it and remove one of these as the cost. And then the Dahan fights back and kills the town. 1 fear.
Okay, so explain.
I used my power here on this card. If you read it here, choke the land with green. Whenever invaders would ravage or build in a land with your place of power, as in the 2 presence, you may prevent it by destroying one of your presence in that land.
So up over
Sorry
here.
to,
Go, Tim.
the innate powers that we have. Sorry to really just sidetrack us there. It says the speed is fast. How do I? Because if I'm doing this as innate power,
Any cards you've played and paid for this turn, those symbols on there,
Yeah.
if you have that number of those symbols, you get to do this power as if it's a card kind of thing.
okay. So I need to slightly backtrack or say I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do it on level 3/2, which is destroy up to 2 little guys.
Oh shit! Have you got that much? You got that
Yeah,
many symbols out
that's
already?
my stuff up there on the green ahead of me.
Oh, you've paid.
Is that right? 3 white, 2 orange.
How many
Yeah.
cards? Oh, you got 3 cards. Jesus.
You played 3 cards. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Do whatever it
So-
says.
That is then what's that? In place
Destroy up
or
to 2.
move?
So up to 1 range from a place of power. So you need to have 2 of the presence things
Okay.
wherever you're doing it from.
And I can do both of the things. Do I or just do the second one?
Only here. And yeah, it's only the second one. It's like the upgraded version.
If you do it
Okay,
here,
so I destroy up to 2 guys.
is that
Each 2
2
guys we wanna
damage
kill?
or is that 2 explorers dead?
2 explorers.
It's destroy 2 explorers.
So can he do
specifically.
that one and that one, for example?
Yeah, because it's
what happened?
no. You're choosing. Let me have a look at it. You choose a land and you do the activate. You activate on that land.
On
So
that land.
in that piece of land that you've chosen, you destroy up to 2 explorers and 1 fear is generated per destroyed.
That's not as good as I'd hoped, but
But this one here,
Which
you'll stop
one?
blight.
okay.
Yeah, you will. No, it wouldn't because there wouldn't be blight anyway.
Ah, yeah, but I'll maintain my power point.
You still would. If you change
Oh,
anything.
because we're not putting. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you
Then
only
maybe-
lose that if we put blight out.
Then maybe that's the better option.
This guy? The explorer?
Is it? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Or this one?
probably.
Just empty it.
It's too
You're
far
not-
away.
It's going to be 1 space away from this.
Oh, one third from that one.
Hang on a
from
second.
the double.
Unless you've got any spare energy, in which case you can play from.
Oh yeah, your character can.
I have no spare energy.
Never mind.
All right. Never mind.
Belay that remark, Captain.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Keep an eye on that ability because that's really
Bloody good. Once I realised I had it.
Yeah. Funny the way that works, isn't it?
So yeah, it's pretty much choose between these 2 dudes, and I don't think it makes much difference. It generates 1 fear. It's free, effectively. So like,
Yeah.
do it, I guess.
Yeah, wetlands. Because wetlands going to do more stuff.
It's going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to trigger next turn.
So that
that's-
generates a fear for doing that as well. Oh, I've just picked up 2, have I?
No.
Cool.
All
Okay.
right. Sorry about that, guys. Back to what you were thinking about, Jamo.
So
I
now
activated mine, did I?
this
Oh, I
boy
did.
dies.
Did I? Yes, I did. I activated mine as well. Damage 1 damage to 1 town or city. It's slow though, so I'll do it in a second. Ignore me.
Right. So this one has killed off the Dahan. And now this one does 3 damage, so it kills that. And he flips that. But then this will do 3 damage back, right?
4, but yes.
Oh, yeah, well, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Even better.
That's great.
So that's 2 fear.
It is. All right, we might be getting quite close to having a fear card out.
Mischief managed. This one's done. That one's done.
Yeah.
That one
Done,
doesn't do
done,
anything.
done.
Done,
Yeah, nothing
done,
happens. We
done.
survive!
Okay.
Hey, that was pretty good.
Have I just turned the whole deck over? Yes, I have. Jungles. Oh, do we need to build? We need to build on
Yeah,
wetlands
so
first.
don't do that until we've finished.
Yep.
So we ravaged. Now we build on wetlands.
So we get a...
Yes. Oh, so let's do towns, I guess. Town. City.
Ooh!
Every time we do that, it's like, this is the worst possible outcome.
And then we keep getting worse outcomes.
And then we explore on jungles. So anywhere that's adjacent to towns or cities or water. What's the button that I have to press? Explorer, numpad 1. So yes.
I think it's
Yes.
a big Y on everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That one's got one there. That one is adjacent to the same spot. And yeah, good. Looking good.
Ooh. All right. It's time for slow action. No. Yes.
Yes, it is now, yeah. So now is when we move these cards.
Oh, boy.
So I can push 1 town, or I can push 3 Dahan. 1 range away from where I am. So pushing Dahan around might be smarter.
If I destroy that, and I shove that to there...
So what do we know? Ravage next turn is going to be wetlands. So immediate threat is this.
Yeah.
And then the turn after that is things are going to build on green. But I think maybe we do this next turn and then we sort of pause it.
I can shove this boy somewhere else.
That's quite good.
I could put him there, for example.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
So my slow powers are I can do 1 damage to a town or city that's where I am. And for this card up here, I can push 1 town or 3 to hand. So if you want to... have we got a damaged town somewhere already? No.
Is it this one here?
Was it?
Which one? Sorry?
Was
No,
it
no, that's just built.
Right.
Doing 1 damage to a town or city means that technically, like, a Dahan could kill an explorer and a damaged town in 1 turn.
Yeah.
So it's not amazing, but situationally possibly good.
You need 2 Dahan for it. Because the...
Well, you have to make them survive the fight as well.
Yeah.
So I've got a push to give to people, but you can push a guy and a town from one of your lands. That's valuable to you in 3 at the top. Yeah.
Potentially. Is anyone going to be dropping any bombs that they're aware of next turn,
No.
which I think is going to be like tomorrow or the weekend or something?
I've not got a lot in the way of options on my side, unfortunately.
No.
No,
So I
I'm
think
gonna be
I'll just do
restocking
some
my
useful
hand.
stuff. Do some damage and then have done with it. What can I do? The thing I can do is on damage to something where I already am. Potentially turn this to state 2, which I assume is flipped. Yep. And then, in theory, I could push that same town into somewhere else, so that it doesn't... Oh, it's already going to get killed.
Yeah, that will.
So there's actually no reason to do it there. Oh, they'll kill 1. Oh, this is that exact situation. Yes, that's why I'd do that. Damage this.
Okay.
They will kill 1 of the Dahan, and then the remaining 1 will kill both of them. That's
Okay.
why that's useful. Yeah. And then I can push 1 town or push 3 Dahan after that. And that is up to 1 space away from where I am. So I can push
Okay,
this town for no reason. That seems good. I can move this town out. What does that stop them doing? They're about to ravage. I could just straight up move this away.
I thought you were going to do
Well-
that with my card that lets you move town and explorer.
Yeah, I can do. Well, I can on the other one because I can be up to one space away, so I could do that. In fact, I'll do that because we know that the mountain card's already come out.
Yeah.
So that's me, and you're going to help me move that. So we've cleared some mess up. We've done this
You
half of
can
the
now
board,
move
Jamo.
that
What are
if
you
want
doing?
to.
I'll do it now.
Yeah, may as well. So
Alright,
it creates 2 fear. Target spirit may push 1 level 1 and 1 level 2 from their lands. Yeah. You want to move
Is
jungle
it
room?
1 town and 1 city, or 1 explorer, 1 town?
1 explorer, 1 town.
Okay. We can probably leave him there because he's not going to build. He's already had his build step.
Which
so he's
card are you
probably
looking
safer
at?
there.
Crops Wither and Fade or Mantle of Dread?
Mantle of Dread.
It's 2 fear as well. All right, cool.
If that triggers... No, we've still got another 3 fear we're going to build up.
Okay, done with Mantle of Dread. Away. Last one, I can shrink a town or city. I think I'm going to shrink number 1 over here.
Ooh.
Just turn it into an explorer.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Or
I could...
shrink.
It's still generated. 2 explorers would do enough damage to generate a blight.
Yeah.
Right, but if I can get to here, or here, or here... My phone, what for?
The text for the credit card.
Alright, hang on a second.
Jamo's getting his money stolen.
My just brother-in-law woke up to find his eldest son sliding the phone underneath his finger to read the fingerprint.
No.
Like sort of Sunday afternoon, fast asleep on the sofa, and just the kid was there just sliding it underneath his finger.
Wow.
Yeah. So
How would you react to that? Like, a kid would have to go out the window. I've let my tea go cold. Damn it, Spirit Island. I'm drinking it
So
anyway.
we're
I'm soldiering through.
So we're shrinking a place, Dave. Which place are we going to shrink?
Um,
Its range is... Oh, it has to be a place I'm at. Shit.
So, also keep in mind that you could be doing things like here because they're going to Ravage next time around. So you could make the situation slightly better for that.
It needs to be a place I'm at, so it has to be this one here.
Oh, it's the only place you can do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
So I'll just do that. And we can
Turn it into an Explorer,
move on with our lives. So
which is a bit.
Okay.
It's a bit crap because that would have died anyway.
Yeah,
Oh, in this. Oh no, this is good because now they don't kill a Dahan; they just injure one. Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
and an injured Dahan is
Alright.
just as useful as a healthy one.
I am finished with mine.
What did we end up doing?
He pinged it off here because he had to do it where he had presence. So he turned this town into an explorer, which means the Dahan won't die in the fight when the sands ravage.
Wouldn't it be... Oh, no, you
not even going to ravage
did
anytime
raid
soon.
him.
But it's going to be. Oh, it's not going to be in the next card, is it?
Not necessarily.
We've not had sands come out. Oh yeah, so there's always one removed, so you don't know which land isn't going to be coming up on the cards. Right then. So that's the end of that round. We've all played our slow cards.
Yep.
Mine, or is that yours? That's me, isn't it? All right. So what I might do is say that is our 3-turn example of how Spirit Island works, and we might get together, and we'll get together. What I'm going to ask you to do, Jamo, is to make a save state of this.
Yep.
Wait,
And then
before we
we-
do anything, before we do that, what's this single in whatever doing there?
Oh yeah, you're right. That is me
Did you lose it when
planning
you
to.
were...
I was meant to put it out somewhere, and where have? Oh, that's the one that died, isn't it? That's gone from the game.
Yep.
You're right.
Right,
Well, remember,
okay.
Jammer.
Just otherwise we'd look at that next time and go, what the hell's that for?
Freebie.
How do I save?
In games, I think. In
Is
the
it?
top bar there. Or is it?
Yep, yeah, it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Just called like Spirit Island Dave Tim or something. So we know what it is.
I just call it Spirit Island because I'm not going to be playing this with anyone else anytime soon.
Wow. What a harsh indictment of the game.
No, I think it's a fantastic game. I'm going to end my stream there. Thank you, one viewer who stuck with me throughout. It may be just the bot that I've got running, but who
Oh, it
knows?
definitely is.
I have not commented for the whole time, so possibly.
What I want to do before we actually kill it, Jamo, is Tim, have we even slightly changed your mind?
Yeah. That having a turn where it was like, oh, I feel cool.
Yeah.
Suddenly,
What was it like?
Just like, yeah. That thing like, oh yeah, I can. If I play these, then this other thing will happen as well. Oh yeah, cool. Just going from really limited and obviously seeing little things pop up, but I think the fact that it's just whack-a-mole every single turn, I might struggle with. But then maybe we should play the rest of this and see how I feel at the end of it.
There's definitely a tipping point where you're no longer. It's not putting out fires. You're controlling the whole situation, which is really cool.
What? How many more fear did we have to pull out?
2, I think we were down to 3. Sorry, 3, and then we get a fear card.
Righto.
But
So
yeah, that would...
once you start playing with the fear card, good things happen for you. You start being like, some of them will say like destroy 2 towns that are next to whatever, and that sort of thing. And you start to get on a bit of a roll, and then you start to turn your attention towards what the winning condition is.
So I think we may have burnt 2 more fear as well, because I think my Crops Wither and Fade one where I shrank that town also generates 2 fear. So
we just need 1 fear to get that thing off then.
We're 1 fear away from
1 fear to kill. But
join us next time to see if we flip a fear card.
No, I think it's a very good game. It's good at making you feel stupid and clever in equal measure. You'll have those turns where it's like Rain Man, where he sees everything, and it all just makes sense. And then you'll have turns where, like most of my turns this time, where I'm just looking at going, which scorching inferno do I want to put my hand into, kind of thing. It was you're fucked if you do, and you're fucked if you don't.
Yeah,
it is. It's the sort of game where, as you're playing it, you're like, especially streaming it. Goddamn. There's going to be someone looking at the board screaming, going, no, just do this and then this, and you'll kill 4 more things, you idiot.
And if that's you, viewer, and you're not typing it into the stream chat, you're doing everyone a disservice.